Welcome to the Subway Fresh Take on day 16 of the World Cup, and it's the first day in which we haven't had any matches. Of course, a rest day back in Brazil. The perfect opportunity for us to reflect. And I ask you boys, start off with you, Craig. Which player's impressed?
I'm going to say, and don't correct me, it's James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez.
You say James?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Right, it's James.
What? Because Stevie says...
All the talk coming into this competition was Colombia are not going to be the real threat because Falcao's cruciate injury. And I think there has been players that have stepped up, not just him, but most of the attacking lineup from Colombia has stepped up. But I think Rodriguez has been the one. I think he's driven forward, he's looked really dangerous. I think he's going to be a big threat in the round of last 16. I think they're probably going to go further. And I think he has enhanced his reputation. OK, his stock's up. For you, which player's impressed for you, Stevie?
I'm going to stick with Colombia as well. I'm going to go with Guadrado. He's 26.
He's old.
He's been at Fiorentina, who are a good side, but he's just, for me, all of a sudden come alive. He can take people on. He scored a goal. He's got 3 assists in 3 games. The guy, he reminds me of an old-fashioned winger when he's got the ball at his feet running at his fullback. Just everything he's done is positive. And it just kind of goes along with what Colombia are doing.
Yep.
Going forward, they look inventive and they look as though they're going to hurt people.
Paul?
I'm going to go very young. I'm going to go Divock Origi from...
Very young?
Yeah, 19 years of age from Belgium. Only made 12 starts for Lille. Mark Wilmots, how he spotted him is beyond me. It's fantastic. When Benteke went down injured and Lukaku has been playing really, really poor, he's come in and actually... saved Belgium for me. He's fantastic.
OK, let's look at the opposite side then. Whose stock's down? Who's disappointed you in this tournament?
I think you can go straight to Spain.
Yep.
Take your pick. Casillas in goal, Busquets in the middle of the park, Piqué at centre-back, Xavi. I mean, do you want me to keep going? I can probably just go through the Spain team. I mean, so disappointing. We knew that things were getting close towards the end of this fantastic era they've had. No question, they have been and were the best international team in the world. Not anymore, but they've dropped big time all of a sudden.
Which players?
No, I'm going to go for a manager.
OK.
Del Bosque.
Ah.
Because I think he
same with the theme?
Yeah, he felt he could go with guys who had done it from before, but were not necessarily the best players that Spain had at the time. I mean, he left out Negredo, he left out Llorente from Juventus, who had an excellent season. And they were so desperate, the Spanish, they had to go and get a Brazilian, Diego Costa, to play up front when he played for Brazil before, and I just thought, I smelt a rat at that point. The goalkeeper as well only plays Champions League football and Copa del Rey. It just stunk for me, really.
Well, it kills me to say. I mean, obviously these guys are wallowing in it. The fact that England have been so dreadful. I just thought that not many players showed up. You know, everybody said...
Which player was the biggest disappointment for you for England?
I thought Henderson was very, very poor. Baines has got a lot of stick, but mainly that was because Rooney was in front of him playing.
How'd you pick on a kid? He's one of the most inexperienced
players
he's got.
He has been unbelievable for Liverpool this season, incredible, alongside Stevie G, his captain. And I thought that pairing would have done way better than it had.
How come the English media have been saying, well, you know what, especially after the first game, maybe not so much after the second, well, you know, we don't look like we're going to go out, but there's a lot of positives to come from this.
But there is.
In fact, we were doing the show the other night, and Roy Hodgson at the end of the Costa Rica game was interviewed, which we ran in, and he said, oh, this has been very positive. I'm really pleased with the performance. At least we've sent the fans home with something to be happy about.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. That interview was the most embarrassing interview I've ever heard.
So
it was absolute garbage that Roy was talking. It was rubbish.
So is that not worrying then, Paul, how people can be so in such different wavelengths? Well, because quite honestly,
what they're doing,
they've been poor.
They're drinking the Kool-Aid. They're buying into this silver linings rubbish. We've got, in the old days, we could put a couple of sides. I know you guys don't want to hear this, but we could have put a couple of sides there that could compete in the top 10 of the world. Now we're talking about 4 or 5 players. Where are the players coming from?
All right,
it's much deeper.
Calm down. At your age, you can't get this excited.
You're out.
Have a little rest, have a cup of tea. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, of course,
Very upsetting, though.
for more views on the World Cup in Brazil.